I
It's a
handed it.
great amount of joy out of all of it. So, frightened me. And it took everybody a minute to recover. I don't remember what we were doing. We were all like,
Because
Best mayor.
I didn't even start roll, he asked for roll call,
Oh,
and
that's
I was
right.
still just like,
oh, well, let's see.
okay.
Hold on.
I see this old TABA flyer, I would think we must have gotten their attention by now.
All right, it's 12 o'clock, so we'll call the EDC Board of Directors meeting to order. Susan, will you call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Bob Breedlove, Charles Parker, Ernie LaFleur,
Here.
John Chambers.
Here.
Maria Davenport. Here. Tom Trimble, and Jerry Aiken.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Charles Parker he's out of town on business today. Tom Trimble had a conflicting appointment, wasn't able to make it.
Bob is out of town on a family issue.
So, we did brief Charles and Tom, I know, on things that were on the agenda and kind of got some feedback and stuff from them. So as we go through this, we may interject on what their thoughts were, just since we knew they were going to be out today. So the first agenda item is discussion of the 2022 Tyler EDC annual meeting. I believe Susan sent you all an email about this, checking your interest some time ago. I did go ahead and order or purchase a table for that event.
Oh, good.
It will be Friday, October 21st, and so at 11:30 to 1 at Green Acres Crosswalk. And I don't remember who is speaking. I know they've said, they've been working on their strategic plan and a few items, and so that will be presented. Boyette Advisors is the name of that group, I believe. So they will be there to present that, and if you've never been, it's worth going to. I'm glad that we get to be a part of it. So we'll remind you as it gets closer. I've got everyone's tickets, and I'll email those out probably the week prior to the event, just so you're not having to keep up with them, and I don't have to keep up with who has what ticket. So, but that's all I have on that. Any questions or discussion? Okay. We'll move on to item 2, discuss, consider, and approve the 2022-2025 subcommittee members. I believe Susan has provided you a copy of the 3 that we have received so far. My recommendation would be
Did we need to approve the consent agenda?
oh, that's just the consent. I did.
I believe you did.
Sorry. Yes, we do. This is why I never preside over a meeting.
I was just gonna ask at the end
Okay.
to go back.
But we can do the consent agenda now. Approval of the minutes of the EDC meeting on August 18th, 2022.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so back to the work plan. Susan handed out the 3 applications that we received. Stephanie and I were talking, we know one other person that we'd like to send an application to. She's a local real estate agent. Like she would be good on one of the committees. She's trying to find more ways to get involved in the White House community. And then just ask you all again if you know anyone that you think would be good.
I just haven't gotten that. Do we need to talk to that person first?
Yeah, if they could fill out just this brief application and get it back, just in case other people on the board don't know who they are, it'll just give them enough information, hopefully, to plug them in and get them familiar with the individual. So, I'd like to have, 3 to 4 people on each subcommittee, so we need quite a few more applications, so let's keep hitting those people up.
Yeah,
and see
okay.
if we can find ways for them to serve. And we'll kind of revisit as a group of staff and see if we can think of anyone. That
And
may
this
fit.
is the list of committees here, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you asking, you're asking primarily to find outside people, not people that are already on the committee, which ones we wanna serve on, or.
Yeah, I think we need to have at least one, maybe two, because there's 7 of you and 4 committees
Yeah.
on, 1 to 2 EDC members on each committee, and then a couple of outside people that don't currently serve on the board to participate. All right.
So do we need to actually vote on the 3 applications that we have?
I would wait. Let's give it one more meeting and see where we are. See how many more we get in. I mean, I think it's obvious that we're probably going to appoint them given the number of applications that we've received. But I would just recommend waiting and let's appoint those slots, because even if we appoint them, and we could reach back out to them and say, we're still in the process of soliciting applications for these, we have yours, so that they're not just left lingering so long. And that way, hopefully by the next meeting, we can make appointments.
Yeah, I think especially on, volunteer type stuff, communications
Right.
appreciated,
Yeah.
so,
Because otherwise, they feel like they've turned it in, nobody's ever
yeah, exactly.
talked to them, so, okay. Stephanie, will you either remind me to do that or help me with that?
And could we possibly get a blank one, so that if we talk to some people, we have something
Yeah.
to.
They emailed us 2 or 3.
Yeah, we'll send it back out.
Oh, was it an email? I'm sorry.
No,
That's
that's
all right.
okay. If your inbox looks like mine, it gets, I either file it or it gets buried and
Yeah.
never to be seen or heard from again. Alright, anything else on that? Rocking and rolling through these today. Alright.
Was that-
Number 3, discussion, consideration, and act upon funding an ice skating rink at Snow Globe photo op for Christmas in the park. I'll let Stephanie talk about that item. She did such a great job with the council meeting.
So on Tuesday, the council approved to partially fund an ice skating rink for our Christmas in the Park on December 3rd. I have a picture of it if you wanna look at it, but it's a synthetic ice skating rink, 40 by 40, comes with staff and, the skates and everything. They set it up, they bring it in, and, we are looking to have, some more funding possibly from you guys to help out with that. The total cost was $21,038.93. We have other donors on it, and we have some money coming in from the Chamber of Commerce to help offset the cost of it.
Are you wanting us, can we get sponsors?
Yes, you can. So what we're asking today is for the EDC to fund 5,000 of that 21,000. The city has agreed to fund 5,000. If the EDC funds 5,000, the chamber has identified probably another 8,000 in donations as of Tuesday. And I think I heard of another $500 sponsorship that came in since then. Is that right, Stephanie?
So it looks like we're at $15,000 total if it gets approved here. And they think they have another $3,000 to $4,000 that is not fully secured yet, but in the works.
So I'm confident we'll get to the 21, if the EDC is agreeable to doing this. We feel like it will certainly be a big draw to bring people into
Right.
town and spend more time here on that
Yeah.
Saturday, December 3rd, which means they spend more money here by being here.
So, are there any particular levels of sponsorship, or just whatever people want to donate?
So it came together really fast. We don't really have different levels of sponsorship because A, we were lucky to find a synthetic ice rink this late in the year. B, the donations came in kind of really much faster than I anticipated, with the chamber getting on top of it and reaching out to their board members. So the short answer is no. But if there is something in particular, we can work on that. I don't even have all the donation information from the chamber about who's doing what just yet, so,
At some point, though, somebody will lay out, what are their sponsors, what recognition are they gonna get? Are they
Yeah.
gonna get little signs or,
so we'll probably put everybody's logo on some sort of banner at the event.
Okay.
At a minimum, I mean, but beyond that, unless, it doesn't sound like right now we need anything. I would be shocked if we had any sponsors that reach the level of the city or the EDC or the chamber at this point because of our total, what that is right now. So, I don't have a good answer for that, other than we don't have sponsorship levels.
Okay, all right.
But we will do a banner with everybody's logo, I think.
Yeah.
I think I can get at least 2 sponsorships, and
Great,
so I'm sure it could, I don't know, maybe 1,000 to 1,500.
okay.
So I'll work on that, and they'll at least get a very expensive logo on the banner.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because the chamber's putting forward, what was it, 2,500. They have one of their members that has matched that donation. Because we've got the 5,000 apiece between the city and the EDC. And then that's really all the details I have. Republic Services will be putting in 500. But I don't have the details on the other sponsors. But we're pretty excited about it. And then that also includes, that cost that Stephanie gave you also includes a life-size snow globe that you can get into and take pictures with. We really think it's gonna be a really great event. The parade will be moved to 3:30 in the afternoon this year as opposed to a nighttime parade.
Same
and
day?
it's-
Is that the same day? Oh, nice.
And one thing that I was particularly concerned about at first, that I think this ice skating rink will help, is it's also the same day as the high school's winter formal, and so we were really worried about what that would do to parade participation and that kind of thing. So I'm excited that we have a little bit more to offer to help offset maybe not having as many local students participating in our parade and event.
Well, they may want to come take pictures beforehand.
That's
Yeah.
what I think is gonna
Oh,
end
that
up
would be
happening.
great, yeah.
And the skating rink will be operational all day, so from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. They're gonna set up the day before and tear down the day after, so they won't have to do all that in the morning. It'll just be there and ready to go, so.
And they
An all
provide
day
like
event.
shoes, skating.
Yeah, they're gonna
shoes.
provide the skates, they're providing staff, they're doing the setup, delivery, so that's all included in that. And then there's also a generator that's included in that cost for the inflatable.
I need to know what food trucks are gonna be here.
I don't think we've gotten that far yet,
And now how are y'all
but when we
gonna,
know, we'll let you know.
how are y'all marketing this to the world?
So historically, this has been a Chamber of Commerce event. They've handled both the parade and vendors and Christmas in the Park. We are taking a much more proactive role in this event this year because we're doing the ice skating rink and some other things. We are hoping to have kind of a better planning meeting maybe in the next week or two to really start pushing it out. The Chamber's highly focused on their reverse raffle right now, and so I think Stephanie and I have been talking about all the things that need to get done for this Christmas event to be successful and pushed out, and so we're gonna start working on that pretty hard and heavy after today.
Yeah, I would say, I think we needed to get that ice skating rink solidified before we could
Yeah.
really start pushing out that we were gonna
Oh,
have an ice
sure,
skating
yeah.
rink. So that check went in the mail yesterday, so hopefully that means we have it. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, we could, if you have a flyer, of course, with your beautiful portal and everything that you've got now. All the different, organizations could be putting that on their Facebook pages and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, we think it'll definitely help drive the amount of vendors that we have,
Yep.
food trucks. I mean, if they know people, we're really gonna draw a crowd throughout the day. It'll help. Sorry, Ernie, I interrupted.
No, that's all right. That's
And they
okay.
put a banner across.
and a
the
banner on
town.
this,
They do that every year.
that works nicely.
Yeah,
So do we need a motion?
we do.
Oh,
You go ahead.
no, I just wasn't thinking about that.
Well, I move that we accept the proposal for $5,000 for the ice skating rink at the Christmas in the Park.
Thank you.
And a second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Discussion and review of the September Tyler Area Builders Association Business After Hours event. Sorry I wasn't there. COVID, I didn't want to share my Jeremy's with y'all.
Oh,
So, anyway,
Thank you for that.
yeah.
yeah.
I figured y'all would appreciate that more than my attendance, so. Stephanie, you wanna go over that since you pulled
Yeah.
all that? You would see
So I think
pulled all that
we had a really good turnout. There was a lot of people that came in. the girl that runs the Tyler Area Builders Association, Libby Simmons, she said that it was an amazing turnout for something that was off property, and it was pouring down rain for half of it, so
Oh, yeah.
it was really good, and I think there's a lot of interest. I know Charles had talked to quite a few people there.
Yeah.
I know the mayor had talked to quite a few people there, so, and there's a lot of interest in White House, so I think it was a really good turnout.
I was trying to remember the name of the TABA president, that's Libby Simmons.
Yeah, I believe that was.
Aaron, Libby, Aaron.
Well, Aaron is the president.
Oh, she's-
Libby is the one that handles all of their like
Oh,
administration.
gotcha.
Maybe it's kind of like their executive.
Stand me back.
There's a mess.
The question I heard most was, are there properties available?
It's a good question.
Are we going to, our website looks good, by the way. I finally got around to playing with it,
Yeah.
but I was wondering if there are any plans for including a property search feature on there.
I guess we could, I'd be interested to know for other EDCs, how many times their property searches get used.
Tyler has one,
Versus
so.
like LoopNet or, for commercial properties, that's what I go to see. I check that probably once a week, once every other week, just to see what commercial properties have come on the market. So I don't know,
Perhaps we could add a link.
yeah.
That's
Just a
what
link.
I was
Just a
just
link
gonna
to
say.
LoopNet. Yeah, we could do that.
Or any others that you know about, just a couple of links
Yeah.
for them to look at.
Yeah,
That
we
would
could
be
do
an
that.
easy
I think
way.
LoopNet is probably the most widely known, but yeah.
That's a great
We could
idea.
do that, yeah. I'm gonna make myself a note.
Might get more traffic if we have some links on things like that.
Right, because,
Yeah.
you know, it's a starting place.
Yeah, and that way we're not trying to figure out how to keep it.
Cause that's a big deal.
It is,
Yeah.
the property, yeah.
So anything else on do we wanna try and do the business after hours once a year? Do we wanna,
You mean sort of like our annual dinner?
yeah, I mean, kind of like is it something you think is worth doing again? How frequently do you wanna do it again? Do you think that's enough for now?
Does that need to be a future?
Yeah, we can make that a future
Agenda.
agenda item if you want. That's a good idea.
Because I guess we need to see what kind of results produces
Yeah.
first.
One thing Stephanie and I were talking about was pulling, we had each attendee drop a business card kind of in a fishbowl, so we need to compile all those cards and just make a list so that if we know of large parcels that are coming on the market, we can just send it out to all of them. We've done that before when there was a 69-acre tract that came on the market for sale up here, and as soon as we learned about it, we started sending it out to builders and developers. Letting them know that it's available.
TABA is almost exclusively residential, right?
So pulling those cards together may help in the future if we know about large parcels. They just move so fast sometimes that Park Meadows, where that's gonna be, was within hours of that sign going up, was under contract.
Oh, wow.
Because the developer lived in Sunny Meadows. So he saw it before any of the rest of us.
I haven't sent anything out to any of them because
Yeah.
half of them I don't have their email address for, but Libby said that if I get in contact with her, I can get whoever we're missing their contact email address. Some of them filled out just a paper when they were
I see.
at that one at
Gotcha.
Jasper. So some of them just put their name and their phone number. They didn't put
Gotcha.
their email address.
Okay.
So I'll work on getting that.
You know what might be helpful if we do a future event, I guess I'm just brainstorming here, is if we had a designated photographer to take pictures of the business people, and because
Yeah.
everybody likes to see themselves on social media later, and
So I know that they were taking quite a few pictures, so
Oh,
I
they
have
were?
reached out to Libby to try to get a
Oh,
copy of some of those
good.
pictures so we can have them.
Oh, that'd be
I didn't know
great.
what we were gonna do with them, but, yeah, she hasn't gotten back to me on it just yet, but I'll reach back out to her.
Is there still
Nice.
Tyler today or something like that? You know, it's one, every month, you know, at all the restaurants and stuff, you know, they'd have a stack.
There
of
is,
those.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that'd be good PR for us to get in something like that.
Even on our
And
website.
TABA used to run things in there,
Yeah, I've seen them in there before. You know.
pictures of the events.
Okay, anything else on that? Alright. If not, then we'll consider future agenda items. Stephanie, you talk about Charles's.
So Charles I talked to him earlier today, and he had mentioned that he wanted to bring back up the discussion on having a membership for the EDC. So he wanted that put onto a future agenda. I guess there was some interest at the TABA event about it, so.
Yeah, because that's how the Tyler one works, and all local businesses join for a certain level. And that's a big fun, I mean, that's how they fund most of the EDC.
But you do have to do events then for the members a little more often too,
Yeah.
to keep them updated and,
Yeah, like Tyler's EDC does a quarterly breakfast for their members. Annual event.
but then on the other hand, that the members will also be happy to help sponsorship any other events we have, like skating rink and stuff like that. They'll,
Could be. My only concern would be competing with the chamber, and so we just want to make sure.
Yeah, see, the Tyler is, I'm sure you know, the Tyler EDC and Chamber are really kind of joined at the hip. You know, of course, Henry Bell now used to be, Tom Holmes was, you know, he was president of both.
But we'll have
Everybody
that.
seemed okay with it. You know.
We'll put it on a future agenda to talk about. We're gonna do a little bit of research. Tyler is the only EDC I'm aware of that is set up the way that it is. Most EDCs are set up like this one, that you receive sales tax dollars. Whereas Tyler EDC is fully funded by memberships. And so we need to do a little bit of research on the staff side and see what other cities are doing, what they offer their members, especially if there are any EDCs that are our size doing it, and kind of what that looks like. So we'll put that for a future agenda item.
I heard something of Parks and Rec that might be kind of, I'd be interested in your comment on, it might be interested in everybody else, and that's, it sounds like this, Rails to Trails thing is close to being approved. And the way James was mentioning it was that the head of it, where it starts, would be right at our Black Hawk Creek trails that we already got going, and it goes all the way down the Troop. So, I mean, if that goes through, you've got a real start of a pretty significant green space, trails thing that could be a pretty big deal.
wow.
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Something we've been
so-
working on for a long time. It sounds like it might actually be the point of happening.
Hopeful.
Am I
Outside
being
of the
overly
years.
optimistic?
Hope
That's-
nobody at Union Pacific gets promoted, transferred, demoted, or fired.
Okay.
Because every time that happens, I feel like we have to start all over. So, hopefully, we're this close. to being
Great.
able
Wow,
to
that's,
close on the
I think
plan.
that would be a big thing.
Pardon my ignorance, but are we talking about, I mean, I'm new on this Rails to Trails, so is it like a currently used railroad track that we're doing a trail beside?
It's been abandoned and.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But, well, it's no longer being used, but there were plans that could be available at some
Oh,
point.
gotcha.
And now there are big sections where they've even taken up the rails and you got trees growing up in the middle of it. So turning it back into a rail thing would be a pretty big thing. But they hadn't,
Right.
UPRC hadn't totally decided to, you know, abandon it, but now they have, and there's a big section up in Tyler that they have done that with, so it could be part of a whole
That would be
whole
great.
system. So, but the fact that this one goes right to where we already are starting kind of a park effort, you know, I think that could be.
That has a
really
lot of
nice on
potential,
that.
yeah.
It'd be 8 miles all the way to Trump. And then.
The one between the wreck is not up
No.
yet.
It's south, the portion we're talking about is just south of Hagan Road, all the way to Troop.
Yeah.
The portion from Hagan Road north is still considered active rails. It has to be considered inactive for 10 years before they will even entertain selling it, is what they've told us. So,
Yeah.
Who's been here 10 years? Has there been a train on that? There really has?
See, that northern
No
one,
kidding.
In 10
the
years.
northern one goes right to where Train and all that is.
When
This
we
one
were at their
does?
house.
Yeah, so
in
that's
Orlando.
why there was some, it hasn't happened, but there was some thought it might be needed some point in time because of that industrial park.
Cause it would drop off stuff right down here. That's all it did, is just stop right there and turn around and go back.
09, that's now over 10
It's
years.
over 10 years, so.
Yeah, there you go.
but I mean, as of today, it's still considered active rails. So we're a minimum of 10 years. If they were to declare it today, it would be a minimum of 10 years.
10 more years.
Oh, gotcha,
Oh,
wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They come out every 6 months and check the lights and the arms.
So everybody was really disappointed about that part of it, but the fact that the southern one will at least get to where we're already starting park development, we're talking about putting in a pavilion there and things like that, it could be, you know, that could still make for a nice
Very
White House
nice, yes.
park facility, you know, much bigger than what it is.
for sure.
And then on the city side, we also did budget this year to do a parks and trails plan, and to start working on that. And so we'll be hopefully preparing an RFQ and selecting a consultant to help us put that together. That's a key piece of receiving Texas Parks and Wildlife grants. They say you don't have to have one, but the amount of points they give you for having one kind of puts you out of the running if you don't have one. So, and to my knowledge, we've never had one. So hopefully that'll help us identify what we really want to see out of our parks and recreation facilities going forward. It's a big part of our quality of life, and so we're excited about that
That's
too.
big, it really is.
So that's kind of all I have. I think. Does anybody else have anything for future agenda items?
Oh, what was that one thing we talked about? Membership, oh, yeah, annual, do we,
Oh, future events.
yeah, future
Okay.
events for
TABA.
TABA, thank you.
Okay, and then the next item are reports from staff. The bank statement register was included in your packet. Your account balance is right at about $240,000. I can go ahead and re-pull, if you remember a month or maybe 2 months ago, I pulled the sales tax reports and gave those all to you. I'll email those out. I didn't get them pulled together before this meeting today. I always find those interesting, just to see kind of where we stand, but sales tax continues to be up. Any questions or comments on that? Okay, if not, the last item is adjourn.
You got this.
Yay, we're adjourned at 12:28 PM.
Oh, we're fast.
Fast when Charles is here.
Good work over there.
Yep, very
We
good.
are still
You want,
live.
you want us to
I would say that if Charles